Mr. Johnson here? Oh, okay. Mr. Johnson, are you ready with Mr. Martin? He was on Zoom at 8:30 this morning. Mr. Johnson, can you hear me?
Good morning, Your Honor. Scott Davis also present for Mr. Martin.
Okay, good, thank you.
Yeah, Judge, thank you. This is Ron Johnson, I'm here.
Good. So what's going on with Mr. Martin's case?
Your Honor, as the court may recall, we had motions before the court a while back. One of our motions, which was a motion to dismiss, was set to another date. State needed additional time. And then it was continued again because the state's witness was unavailable. And in the meantime, the court reviewed the records provided by the state from the sheriff's office regarding the ICAC issue. And the court emailed us the court's ruling, finding that OCSO, in fact, did not apply with or comply with ICAC. Unfortunately, that email string I was not a part of other than my service address, so I didn't find out about it right away. I've since, in fact, this morning, submitted a proposed order to the state. The issue is when that's entered, I'm going to have a motion to suppress to file. So what I would like to propose is, rather than having the motion to dismiss for next week, that I have enough time to prepare and file the motion to suppress after the orders entered by the court, and we set this to an afternoon hearing on all the pending motions.
Okay, to the state?
Judge, I think that makes sense, honestly.
Okay, so we want to continue the underlying case and set the motions?
Yes, sir.
The motions for hearing, how far out do we want to set them? June 13th, 17th, 20th?
Judge, I know the 13th is quite full. The 17th or the 20th would be the state's preference.
Okay, how about June 17th? And that would
I'm
be,
looking at my calendar right now, sir.
okay,
It was set, your motion hearing is set on the 23rd of this month at 2:30. Do you want me to remove that?
so we're removing the one on May 23rd, correct?
I prefer just hear them all at once. Yes, I think that makes more sense.
Okay, so cancel
Sure.
May 23rd and set for June 10th? Yes, sir.
You said June 17th, correct, sir?
Yes, sir, correct.
May we have that in the afternoon, please? As the court may recall, I'm flying from Tampa.
1:30?
Thank you so much.
Okay,
And
so,
that's 17. I do want the court to know that, just for the court's edification, the next trial term, I will be out of the country on a summer vacation with my family.
good. You got to recharge your batteries.
Yes, sir. I just wanted the court to be well aware of that in advance. If the court were hypothetically to deny both motions, I'm just not able to do the next trial term. Thank you, sir.
So any objection to continuing it, the underlying case, 2 cycles?
No objection, Judge. Mr. Davis reached out to me about that quite a while ago.
Okay, so it's continued 2 cycles until the pretrial on September 9th, but we'll have the hearings on the motions on June 17th.
Your Honor, may I have the other dates, please, in connection with the September term, just so I can block the calendar, please?
Pretrial is September 9th.
Yes, sir.
Docket day is September 16th. Jury review is September 19th. And the 2 trial weeks are September 23rd and September 30th.
Thank you so much, sir. I appreciate it.
Good. Thanks, y'all.
All right, thank you, Judge. Have a good day, sir.
Y'all too.
Thank you, sir.
Okay, then next is Mr. Bopal.
Good morning, Judge.
Good morning, sir.
First matter I have is Stephen Shorts, 22 CF 3118. Mr. Shorts is present.
Okay, yes, sir.
Judge, we have one last deposition to take in Mr. Shorts' matter. There's been an outstanding body cam of the deputy that had Mr. Shorts exit the vehicle, and that's the last depo we need. I anticipate filing a motion to suppress after that deposition's concluded. And asking for a final continuance.
To the state? Any objection to that?
No, sir.
We've had Mr. Short's case set 2 times for trial, and it obviously hadn't gone. So there's another deposition that is scheduled?
I know that Mr. Powell's put in a request that he feels like there's a video out there in my office is trying to determine whether that video exists, so,
So is it the video that's outstanding or a deposition that's
There's a-
outstanding?
The deposition of the same officer that has the outstanding video.
And have you scheduled that?
I have not, Judge.
Why?
So there was.
Why?
Before I got on this case.
When did you
three-
get on this case?
3 rounds of depositions were done.
When did you get on this case?
Judge, I don't have the date we filed a notice of appearance on this. I know it was a year old after I filed on the case.
I mean, just give me an idea. Have you been on the case for 3 months?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir, over that. The main issue was 3 rounds were done by previous attorneys.
Yes,
And
sir.
so I was piecing together the transcripts from those previous depositions. And so I have all those in now. And when I went through those depositions, I realized that this officer, he was either excused from one of those rounds or he was not deposed. And so that's why I need to reset his deposition. I thought he was already deposed, that's why it's not scheduled. So I have the transcripts in from the 3 previous rounds, and I've realized that that deputy, we did not have a body cam for that deputy. So those are the 2 issues. I do have a motion to suppress to file, and I've told Mr. Snell that. I just wanted to see what was said by that deputy before I filed that motion.
Okay. Mr. Snell, any objection to the motion to continue?
no, sir.
Okay, it's continued.
Judge, I know this is an old case. This is very likely a dispositive motion to suppress, I believe, and I think we will have it worked out next cycle.
And if that doesn't work, then you need to be prepared to go to trial.
Very good. Yes, sir.
Mr. Shorts, I'll see you back here no later than July 8th, but if your attorney sets a hearing before that date, which I hope he is, well, if he needs one before that date, then I'll see you then.
Yes, sir.
Okay, thank you, sir.
Thank you.
Thank you, Judge. Thank you, Judge. The next matter I have is Eric Padgett, 23 CT 13,
Hello, Mr. Paget.
23 CF 1233. Mr. Padgett also has a companion misdemeanor case arising out of this incident. So we just finished depots last week. I'd like to put this for Plea or continue on your docket day.
Okay, yes, sir. So, Mr. Paget, I'll see you a week from today.
Okay.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Had Samantha Lucas,
Yes, sir.
and this is one, it's 23 CF 2139. We had depositions scheduled. We had to file a cancellation of those. Part of that was an outstanding video. We did get that video, and we need to take the depositions. I don't believe this case is very old now, Judge, so asking for a continuance. I don't believe the state's objecting.
So, continued trial next time?
I'm okay with that, Your Honor.
Okay. It's continued.
Had John Schink, I believe this is under Dixie Powell, 24 CF 249. It's SCHENK.
Yes, sir.
And this is a newer case, Judge. He's asking for a continuance, complete depositions and discovery.
Okay, it's continued.
Judge,
Right.
I was also covering for Brandon Morris.
Okay, what about Gong Ochoa?
That was one with Mr. Stewart that we addressed,
Thank you.
and we put that on June 10th.
Good, thank you. Yes, sir, and you're covering for who?
Brandon Morris.
Morris.
And he had a pending written motion to continue. That may have already been granted. I just wanted to double check if that was still on the docket.
Okay,
The client's name is Daniel Solis.
gotcha. Madam Clerk, you showing order in that one yet? Nope, okay. Any objection from the state?
No objection.
It's continued.
Thank you, Judge. That concludes my business.
Thanks,
this morning.
Mr. Powell.
Have a good day.
You too. Okay, then, Mr. Klotz. Morning, sir.
Good morning, Your Honor. Chris Klotz for Jonathan Lambert. There's a waiver in the file, Your Honor. You'll remember this is a case we had a stand your ground motion on. We're going to actually bring this in for a landing. We think
Okay.
we've got it resolved. I'd ask the court if we could do it on June 10, if that is an availability.
Okay, so,
Was that a good date?
That's a good date, Your Honor, and the reason why we're asking for that date, I set out, is that there is a rather substantial amount of restitution that's involved, and we're giving the defendant time to pay that up front in exchange for a better plea offer, so.
okay, so we're going to continue the underlying case and then just schedule it for a status conference on June 10th?
Yes, Your Honor.
Okay, yes, sir, at 9 o'clock.
It'll wrap up then. Thank you, Judge. Appreciate it. Good to see you.
Good seeing you, thank you,
Take
sir.
care.
Mr. Nettle. Hello, Mr. Nettle.
Good morning, Your Honor.
Good morning, sir.
I have one case of the docket, mutual one 23 CF 2473. I have received the discovery, including the body cameras, Judge. The only thing I'm lacking at this point is the FDLE report. I think I'm going to ask for one more continuance, and hopefully we have that. I think we should be able to resolve this at the next hearing.
Okay, to the state?
It's Mr. Snell.
Yes, sir. No objection.
Okay. It's continued? Then, Mr. Nettle, I've got you down,
I had two other cases that were continued, Judge.
Loomis was?
Ms. Loomis and Mr. White.
Have they been continued?
Yeah, you filed, the order, I received orders on both of them, continuing them to June 14th, I believe. There was orders
I
filed
got it
on
was
both
June
of them.
14th.
I forget the exact date, I don't have the files with me, but I did receive an order continuing them. Might have been July, but I don't.
I think they're currently being processed.
Okay.
Some of the cases, some of Mr. White's cases are showing continuing, but some of them are not sure. So yeah, I think they're currently orders.
And I think in one of your, there was an order that I signed, I think in Mr. White's case, where one of the cases cited didn't have a motion in it. I think it was maybe the second one, but I granted it. So, so it's to the next pretrial conference, July 8th is
That
White,
could be the date.
and you received an order in the other one. If you will let,
On Ms. Loomis, I received orders on, I
Okay.
said several orders on Mr. White. And Ms. Loomis, I got an order on both her cases.
okay, if you will send this, the jail copies of those orders, because the clerk doesn't have them yet, and then they won't put your clients on Zoom this afternoon, okay? So you
Okay.
let the jail know.
I just spoke to Ms. Loomis. She's already aware of it, so I don't know.
I'm not worried about Ms. Loomis, I'm worried about the jail,
Okay.
okay? Let the jail know, because otherwise she'll be here, your client will be here on Zoom and you won't be.
And I also, Judge, on Mr. White, I noticed he picked up another charge, a new case, so that's another. I don't know what to do with Mr. White.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Thank you.
All right, that's all I have.
Okay, Mr. Switek. And if everybody will speak up, the rain and the lack of a speaker up here makes it more challenging. Yes, sir.
Your Honor, I've got three cases. Ronald Lentz, L-E-N-T-Z, 23 CF 1867. I'd like to leave that set for plea.
Okay,
I'm
So-
sorry, Judge, was that plea or continue on 520?
Yes.
Okay, sorry, I just
So,
couldn't.
Please continue. Again, you got to speak up, okay? I've got the mic up just about as much as it'll go. It's in the red, okay?
I'm just soft-spoken by
Well,
nature.
then you need to get on top of that mic. Thank you.
Next case is Shannon McMaster, 24 CF 392. Leave that one set. It's most likely going to be plea to the bench.
Okay, and set for trial? When you
Soft.
say leave it set,
Leave it set for docket day.
This is a 24 case, Your Honor.
okay? So you want it plea continue?
Yes.
Okay, yes, sir.
And finally, I've got James Rolandi, maybe under Roland, 24 CF 137. Jason Cobb has,
Okay, yes, sir. Okay,
Your Honor, depositions are scheduled in August on this case,
okay. Okay, so you want to continue it 2 cycles?
into September, yeah.
Okay, it's continued until September 9th.
And that's all I've got this morning.
Okay, hold on one second. Pellegrina, is that already continuing? Do you have any other ones for Mr. Switek for the docket?
Pellegrino was previously continued.
And Anderson was too?
He's an inmate, Your Honor.
Anderson was previously continued.
Okay, good.
I have John Sermons.
John Sermon? Yes, sir. Mr. Switek, what's going on with John Sermons?
Your Honor, if I can continue Mr. Sermon's case, he identified some witnesses to me late last week for me to interview.
Okay, it's continued.
Okay, thank you, Judge.
Okay, hold on one second. And to all the attorneys, and I see this a lot, more in civil than in criminal, but in proposed orders, here's what Mr. Switek's, and there's more than one that he sent me this way. Order to continue. And then it is, the court considered the motion for continuance and is of the opinion, and nobody else writes this way but Mr. Switek, but the court considered the motion for continuance and is of the opinion that said motion be, and then it has granted or denied. One thing, it says order to continue. So if I put denied, that conflicts with order to continue. One thing. Second thing is, don't put granted or denied in there, because everything's electronic now. More strokes the court has to do. Just put granted in there. Put order granting the continuance. If I want to sign it, I'll sign it. If not, I'll change it and make denied. But the court considered the motion, just say the motion for continuance is granted or denied. And put order granting it. It just makes it a lot easier on the court. And sometimes that granted or denied shows up on my screen below where I see it. And so I just hit signature and it signs it, and then it's ambiguous because it has granted and denied, and neither one of them are checked. So order to continue, don't use that language anymore. And is of the opinion that said motion, that's just superfluous.
Well, the court does realize I get paid by the word.
Well, let's use some less words. Thanks, Mr. Switek.
Thank you,
Judge,
Judge.
while Mr. Switek is here, there is something I wanted to address. State of Florida v. Lyle Rubens, 22 CF 2311. I am aware the court signed a continuance order over the state's objection, but I did want to bring something to the court's attention.
Thank you.
Well, it's set for a hearing on June 13th. I don't have the Rubens file with me if you want to argue particulars. It seems to me you're trying to get a third bite of the apple by doing so.
Okay. Yes, ma'am.
Judge, if, just for the interest of judicial economy, this defendant was found incompetent when the Florida State Hospital came back, was found competent, and in the middle of a bond hearing, Mr. Switek brought up competency concerns again, orally. Now, he did file the order and the court did sign it, granting defense's motion for another competency expert. We filed an objection to that. We don't believe the motion was legally sufficient. However, that is set for the 13th. In the meantime, my concern is we want to be present, and we believe we have a right to be present at any competency evaluation that may take place. So I just wanted the court and defense to be aware that we are objecting, and we do intend to be present, and we have a right to be, should they proceed with that evaluation before the 13th.
Mr. Switek, any objection to the state being present?
Yes.
Okay. Do they have a legal right to be there?
I don't know.
Okay.
I would just request that that evaluation not take place until the hearing on the 13th of June.
How about that?
Well, we've already been in contact with Dr. Zeman to schedule. I'm not sure of the status.
Okay. The court orders you to put the state on notice of when that deposition is scheduled. As soon as you know when it's scheduled, you need to notify the state. And if the state needs to do a motion to allow you to appear, then schedule it before that evaluation. Okay? Thank you. And if you wanted, to the state, if you want to do an order.
You said deposition, Judge, you mean
I'm sorry,
evaluation?
Evaluation, thank you. If the state wants to do an order coming out of the hearing today that says that, then it'd perpetuate it.
Thank you,
Good.
Judge.
Thank you.
Judge, I believe all of Mr. Switek's clients were continued, including the inmates, but all the inmates are still on the list.
Okay, if you'll let the jail know that I've got a mental block on jail. If you'll let the jail know that your cases were continued so they don't put your clients on the Zoom.
All right.
Okay?
Do we have a new contact person at the jail for that?
I don't know who it is. Thank
Anybody?
you, sir.
Okay, thank you.
Okay, then next,
Judge, we also have Ian Wilson. Mike, we're splitting cases. Mine were continued, but the public defender has a few of those as well.
okay, yes, sir.
And Judge, I've met with Mr. Wilson and reviewed his cases with him. We're awaiting additional charges from Fort Walton Beach before we can resolve the matter. I've discussed the need for a continuance, and we'll request a continuance so that we can take them off of the transport or Zoom list for this afternoon.
Okay, any objection from the state?
No, sir.
Okay, so it's continued, yes, sir, if you'll let the jail know.
Yes, sir.
Thank you. Okay, to the next private counsel, Mr. Mitchell, you're standing up.
Wow, that works. John. I'm Gene Mitchell for Justin Fahn. We have depositions scheduled. We'd like a one-cycle delay.
Okay.
John
any-
Ross is here as well. He's attorney of record as well.
Okay, good. Any objection to the motion for continuance?
No objection, Your Honor.
Mr. Fahn, do you agree to the continuance?
Absolutely, Your Honor.
Okay, then I'll see you back here on July 8th at 9 o'clock. Okay? Thank you, sir.
If I may, with regard to Coy Browning, he has Yanni Ramon Sanchez. I'm so sorry for mispronouncing. But may we have a one-cycle delay for Mr. Browning's case?
Okay. So he's asked you to appear for him?
Yes, please.
Okay. Any objection on Sanchez?
The last name is spelled Echagaray.
Yes, sir.
No objection, Your Honor.
Okay.
Thank you so much.
It's continued also. Okay.
Nice to see you.
Thanks, y'all. Thank you, Judge. Okay, yes, sir, Mr. Keach?
Morning, Your Honor.
Morning, sir.
First case on the docket would be State of Florida versus Cordarius Grant. He's housed in Walton County. I spoke with Ms. Sandler, who is now assigned that case. We received about 23,000 pieces of new evidence recently. This case was set for trial, but obviously because of that, we're in no position to prepare this cycle proceed to trial. So I'm going to move for a continuance.
Any objection from this?
Good morning, Your Honor. Ira Still, and I've got a co-defendant, Nathaniel Riggs, on this case also.
Okay, good, Mr. Still. Thank you, sir.
Okay, hold on. We got another one behind us also.
Okay. Mr. Cobb?
That's a co-defendant as well. The state has no objection. I'm going to say all of the case numbers for the record.
Okay.
The state has no objection to a continuance for Mr. Cordarius Grant, 22 CF 1429. There is no objection to a continuance in Tyavion Morris, 22 CF 1809. and no objection to a continuance in Mr. Nathaniel Riggs's cases, which are 22 CF 278 and 22 CF 1208. They are all co-defendants, Your Honor.
Okay. All of the motions for continuance are granted.
And I would just request, I think you're good with receiving the materials, but I believe Mr. Riggs and Mr. Morris's attorneys need to provide a drive for us to be able to transfer the materials onto them so that we can get it over to them.
Okay.
For Mr. Moore, Jason Cobb, I ordered one on Amazon, had it sent directly to the state and told her that was coming, so I've already taken care of that.
Okay. Mr. Still, did you hear what the state needs?
I did, and I got that email from Ms. Sandler, but I was somewhat curious because this case has had so much digital, everything from surveillance to crime scene. It's just an immense amount, and it's taken a long time, about 8 months, to get organized to move this thing forward. And now the state has just sent an email and said they have to drop off another terabyte hard drive. And I'm not sure, I know I can't count that high to get to a terabyte. That's a lot of information. And God bless the state. I mean, they're moving it along. They've got a good thing, put their evidence together and digitally. But when we get it, it's like being hit with a massive wave. I mean, this is a lot of information. So I am in the process of getting that terabyte, but we definitely need time on this, Judge.
Sounds good, Mr. Still. Thank you. So it's continued.
Okay, thank you.
And just so you know, Mr. Still, the date's July 8th. Do you want to continue it more than one cycle, y'all? Do you want to do 2 cycles, September 9th?
Well,
I do.
we certainly are not going to be in a position to try it in the July-August trial cycle, but I would like to leave my case set on July just for scheduling purposes, so we can make sure the case is moving forward.
Good. So all of them are just continued one cycle until July 8th.
Judge, Mr. Still's client is the only one physically in the Okaloosa County Jail, so he's still on the list. Nathaniel Riggs.
Gotcha. Mr. Still, if you will contact the sheriff, the jail, Okaloosa County Jail, and tell them that I orally continued your hearing, maybe they'll take off your client from appearing this afternoon via Zoom, okay?
Okay. Judge, I was curious about that because I've heard some other cases that said that they were going to appear at the 2 o'clock. And I thought, I really would prefer to do that if my client could hear what was going on. I'm sure he wouldn't appreciate that.
Yes, sir. If you want to,
in the future,
if you
do I
want,
have to stay in the morning or can I just go in the afternoon?
just in the afternoon at 2 o'clock, if your client's incarcerated. And if you want to come back at 2, if,
Well, I don't want to take up the court time at this point. You worked on it.
okay,
I'll keep that in mind for next time, though, Judge.
good, Mr. Still. Thank you, sir.
Have a nice day.
You too. Mr. Keith?
Judge, I have Mr. Luna, who's an inmate. I'll address that by Zoom this afternoon. And then finally, State of Florida versus Larry Starkey, 23 CF 1465. We have written offer of plea, if I may approach.
Good, thank you. Thank you, sir. Okay. Mr. Starkey, if you'll raise your right hand. Do you swear to tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, so help you God?
I do.
Thank you, sir. You can put your hand down. Mr. Starkey, did you read the plea agreement?
Yes.
Do you understand it?
Yes.
Did you discuss it with your attorney?
Yes, sir.
Did he answer all of your questions?
Yes, sir.
Are you satisfied with his representation?
Yes.
Did you sign the plea agreement?
Yes, sir.
Mr. Starkey, I do accept your plea. You're adjudicated guilty. You're sentenced to 36 months probation on each count, and that's to run concurrently, run at the same time. And that's also to run concurrently with Walton County Case 23 CF 654. You'll need to pay the court costs, $150 legal assistance fee. There's also a $40 per month cost of supervision. You only have to pay that once, though, okay? Thank you, Mr. Starkey. Good luck to you, sir.
Judge, he's already been ordered to pay the cost of supervision in the Walton County case. Would the court consider waiving it in the Okaloosa County cases since he's already paying it?
The cost of supervision,
Yes, sir.
as long as probation, no problem with that?
Correct. It'll run the same.
Okay, good,
It'll run.
good. Thank you.
Thank you.
And Your Honor, that's all I have. May I be excused?
Yes, sir. Thanks, Mr. Keach. Okay, yes, ma'am.
Good morning, ma'am.
Good morning.
Yeah, the first case I have is Jamarcus Hall in 19 CF 849. If we could leave him set for docket day, it's a VOP case, I'm not sure why it's on here, but hoping we can get it resolved on docket day. We have depots in June, but we had one round of depots, and we have an amended offer. So if we can leave him set for docket day, he does know about that, and I will let the jail know not to bring him this afternoon.
Okay, so it's going to be, we're going to leave him for docket, for plea
Peter,
continue?
yes, sir. It's a VOP case that's on the docket.
Okay, yes, ma'am, so plea continue.
Yes, sir.
Okay,
The next case I have is Tre'Vayus McLemore. He's also an MA. I have spoken with him. It's 21 CF 3225, 22 CF 1164, 22 CF 1881, and 20 CF 3237. The state has just made me aware of some additional discovery that they just sent over on one of the cases. If we could leave it set P or C for docket day, he wanted to be present in court, and then I believe the state, if we don't agree, they're going to set up a VOP hearing at that point.
okay, good. So yes, ma'am, plea or continue, Ms. Dudley.
And, Your Honor, I just want to put it on the record, that discovery not getting to Ms. Dudley, I just want to make sure that her client knows it's not on Ms. Dudley, it was on the state. There was a lab report that came in late, and my office failed to get it to her, so I just want that to be known for Ms. Dudley's sake.
Good, thank you.
And our next one I have is Justin Michael in 24 CF 447. We are still waiting on discovery, so I would ask for a continuance of the next cycle.
Okay, yes, ma'am, it's continued.
Is that July 8th, Your Honor?
Correct.
Then I have Clarence Person in 23 CF 2869. I am waiting on deposition transcripts in this one, and I provided reciprocal discovery. If I can get a continuance to the July 8th.
Yes, ma'am.
Thank you, Your Honor. Next I have is Dante Sheffield in 23 CF 1776. I sent over quite a bit of reciprocal discovery in this case, and it's a contract issue. I also am waiting for deposition transcripts. I asked for continuance to the July 8th docket.
Yes, ma'am.
Next I have is Paul Webster in 24 CF 611. Your Honor, we still awaiting on discovery in that case. I would ask for continuance.
It's granted.
And then in Deontay Wingate, my intent is to set depositions. However, we're waiting for additional discovery. We only have 2 witnesses listed, but they talk about multiple agencies being involved, so I know there's more than 2 witnesses. So the state's getting me that information, so I ask for continuance.
Yes, ma'am, that's granted.
I believe that is all I have, Your Honor.
I think so too. Thanks,
All
Ms.
right,
Dudley.
thank you.
Yes, ma'am. Morning, sir. Mr. McKeviges.
Good morning, Your Honor.
Morning, sir.
How are you today?
I'm doing well. How are you?
I'm all right. The first case I have on the docket is State of Florida versus Longenecker, and that's 23 CF 1230. We're waiting on Mr. Longenecker to get signed up for Veterans Treatment Court. I was wondering if it would be possible to set the next court date on a Veterans Treatment Court docket. I don't know if we can do that in open court here, but that's ultimately, I think we're 2 cycles in of waiting for that's the only thing that needs to happen. He's met with everybody. And
I don't think I can stick a case on another court's docket.
Your Honor, I'll get with Mr. Snell within the next 2 days. Candidly, I've been in depots, and so has he, every single day the past 14 business days. There's no reason why this hasn't been done. We will work together to make sure that it gets in. I believe the next vet court date is Friday, so the hope would be that he's already spoken.
if we could do it a week out, just so I can give Mr. Longnecker time to know that.
So
it's
you do
coming.
it every Friday? So we'll work to make sure that he gets in.
It'll be 2 weeks or so after that, the next one.
Can we set it for a status on June 10th?
Sure.
To make sure that he has gotten in by that time.
Okay.
But Mr. Snell and I will work diligently this week to make sure that we can hopefully get him in next Friday.
If it gets moved, it'll get taken off of the June
Correct.
10th docket? Okay,
Yes, sir.
wonderful. I'm going to be out of the country then.
Okay, you want to set it, are you going to be out that whole week?
I will be, Your Honor.
Okay.
But that's fine. I mean, I can get coverage for it if it's not moved yet.
Okay.
I'll be fine.
So the underlying case is continued until July 8th, but we're setting it for a status on June 10th at 9.
Thank you.
Good.
Thank you very much.
Okay.
I have one that's this afternoon. I was wondering if by any chance we could either continue it now or if I could appear by Zoom this afternoon.
Have you talked to your client about,
Yes, he's aware of the fact that we are going to have to ask for a continuance this
and
cycle.
he consents to that?
Yes.
Okay, then yes, sir, it's continued.
Okay,
And
thank
if
you.
you'll let the jail know, okay?
I'll call the jail on my way out. Thank you very much. And you know the case, so we need to put that on the record. It's Matul Hernandez.
Yes, sir,
case-
23 CF 2873.
That's right.
Good.
Okay, wonderful. And then I was handling one matter for Jason Cromie. And that's, the defendant's name is Trevin Vergara,
And Cronies with a CR?
Cromey.
Got it, Cromie, okay?
Okay. There's a waiver on file. He's setting depositions and waiting on Mr. Vergara's military records, asking for continuance.
Okay, that's granted.
Okay, I have nothing further.
Thank you, sir.
Have a nice day.
You too. Okay, next private counsel, whoever.
Monisha Thomas. Judge, I'm James Owens from Monisha Thomas.
Mr. Owens.
Judge, she has a case here. She also has a case in Bay County. She's in custody over there. I'm going to try to have her over here by your docket day for a plea or continuance.
Good.
I'm going to send you a proposed order to that effect.
Okay, please continue. Granted.
So that your docket date, your...
Is a week from today, the 20th.
The 20th?
Right.
At 9 a.m.?
Correct.
Okay. The other case I have is Seth Laviolette. I'd like to set this one for the 20th as well for a plea or continue.
Okay, I don't show you down for that.
Yep.
Got it, okay. Yes, sir. So please continue on that one?
Yes.
That's granted.
So I'll see you May the 20th.
Yes, sir.
Thank you, Judge.
Thank you. Good seeing you.
You too.
Mr. Noakes.
Judge, Mr. Gillespie is in your waiting room. He's the prosecutor on Jesse LaCosta.
Okay.
He asked, in an email, he asked me to let you know that he is waiting to come in, so.
Okay. Okay. And so his name is?
Mr. Gillespie's the prosecutor.
I will actually handle that, Your Honor. I told him that I would handle it.
Oh, okay, well, that's fine.
Okay.
The last email I got, he asked me to remind you
Okay.
that he was in the waiting room, so that's
Good.
fine.
Okay.
He's an inmate from Mr. LaCosta is in custody in Escambia County on other charges.
Okay.
And so I'm going to ask just to continue this matter because I think it's going to be a global offer.
Okay. Any objection?
No objection, Your Honor.
So it's continued.
Is that July 5th?
July 8th.
8th.
Right.
So I'm just going to do the out of custody. I've got Judge Jaden Lovett. Mr. Lovett. Judge, I'm going to try to find him this afternoon. I do have a phone number on him. We had resolved a number of his cases last time, so I'm going to bring it back up at 2 o'clock.
You want to pass him until this afternoon?
Yes, sir, because I'm going to zoom in this afternoon.
Okay.
I then have Anthony Lucy.
Mr. Lucy, come on down.
He has 2 new cases in intake as well.
So Judge, let's leave this set for docket day, but it's not going to go to trial. Let's see where we're at, because I guess he's gotten a new case, and then he was being
So,
looked at.
plea continue?
Please continue, yes, sir.
Mr. Lucy, I'll see you a week from today at 9 o'clock.
Okay.
Okay,
On
that's
the
Monday,
23rd,
the 20th.
The 20th?
Yes, sir.
I'm in court with you as well on the 23rd. Okay.
What's next Monday?
The 20th.
20? Okay, yeah.
Okay.
Judge, I then have Kevin McNamara. Judge, he's present. Judge, he's being evaluated by Dr. Harper, so I was just going to ask to continue it.
And that was what we said 2 months ago. Hello, Mr. McNamara.
Judge, I know that Dr. Harper has been in contact with him,
Yes, sir.
but I've not gotten a report from her. You want me to leave it set for Monday and then?
Why don't we do that and waive Mr. McNamara's presence?
Okay.
We'll set it for plea continue, but if you can find out what the status of that is. So, Mr. McNamara, I'll see your attorney a week from today. If you want to come, you're certainly welcome. I just want to find out what the status is of that evaluation, okay?
I don't have to come Monday?
You don't have to come Monday if you don't want to, but, so you will have to be here, Mr. McNamara, on July 8th at 9 o'clock, okay?
I might show up.
Okay. All right.
Thank you, sir.
You're good to go. Be careful on the weather. Okay, all right.
I'm sorry, can I interrupt real quick?
Sure.
Mr. Kleins represents Mr. McNamara in the 24 CF case. Do you want?
Judge, I also have Joe Petit.
Okay, hold on one second. Mr. Kleins?
Yes, Your Honor, that case was already continued.
Do you want it on, you said it for 520 for status, do you want that case in there as well?
No, I mean, it's a fleeing case, we're still waiting to take that votes. But I'm paying close attention, I now know that he's in evaluation by Dr. Harper, so.
Thank you.
So Joe Petit. Judge,
Set it for 5:20 and we'll get there.
Judge, we're going to leave it set for docket day clear continuance.
Okay.
So be back Monday, okay?
Mr. Petit, I'll see you Monday, okay?
Yes, sir.
Thank you, sir.
Judge, I believe Christopher Russell is out of jail.
Yes, sir, it doesn't show him there.
I was just,
Mr. Russell, he's coming.
Judge, I'm going to ask to continue this. I was appointed on March 12th, but I don't know that I've spoken to Mr. Russell as of yet, but I'll give him my information.
Okay, so do you want Mr. Russell to wait for you to finish, or you can talk to him today before he leaves?
Judge, I'll be glad to do that. If you...
Okay. So, Mr. Russell, I'll see you back here on July 8th at 9 o'clock. Hang around, talk to Mr. Nopes, make sure he has all your information. Okay? Thank you, sir.
Wait on me, I'll come out in just a minute. I then have Carlos Sambulin.
Yes, sir. Hello, Mr. Samlin.
Judge, let's leave it set for docket day, plea or continuance. I will tell you that we did depositions, and the actual victim, I don't think they could find him to serve him.
Okay, well, 2 months ago, we talked about setting it for trial.
Yes, sir.
So why aren't we going to plea trial?
Judge, the other problem we have is the state has got, some of their witnesses are in state prison, and I think his office was working on trying to get it set up that we could take their depositions.
It's a 21 case.
Judge, I totally agree. Don Whitmire had it a long time before I got it. So,
And if you've got problems with the alleged victim, why don't we set it for trial? And then if they show up, then we know
when are your
what we're
actual
gonna have
trial
to do.
dates, Judge?
They are July 22nd, nope, scratch that, May 28th and June 3rd. May 28th, June 3rd.
I should be able to make that work. I do have a trip where I'm leaving on the 12th, I believe, or the 13th of June, but
I mean, or we can skip.
I won't be able to get one of my witnesses I know is in state prison. I won't be able to get him here in 2 weeks.
What about if we schedule it for May 23rd and the state subpoenas the alleged victim to be here on that date?
Judge, I'm fine with that.
Mr. Snow, you okay with that?
We will set that in motion.
Okay, so basically, I'm setting it for a a status on May 23rd at 9 o'clock and continuing the underlying trial one cycle. But the state's ordered to subpoena the alleged victim that they've had trouble, that the defense has had trouble trying to depose, and require that alleged victim to be here on May 23rd. Mr. Chamberlain, I'll see you back here on May 23rd at 9 o'clock.
Yes, sir.
Thank you, sir.
Okay, good. So this is Mr. Lovett, Judge. State, what's your position on this case?
Is this the one that you have, if I'm not mistaken, you were trying to figure out if you needed to take depots or not?
Well, I think the deposition, they had
Did
done
you get-
depositions,
did
but
you
I
get
haven't
them?
got it, I haven't gotten a transcript because nobody knows where the transcript is at. Don Whitmire had this case, and I can see that there was depositions scheduled and then rescheduled, but I haven't been able to figure out who's got the recording, so I didn't have them transcribed.
This is an order case, so in terms of, normally will now record depositions directly into our file, and it's there. There are no depositions that I can see in our file in terms of a recording. Given the severity of these charges, I would think that we're going to need to at least get our hands on the transcripts, or we're gonna have to redepose people before we can take a case like this to trial, Your Honor.
I agree. I mean, you may have to redepose them.
We may have to.
Okay. So, Mr. Lovett, all that means is, from my perspective, is that I'll see you back here on July 8th at 9 o'clock,
Yes, sir.
and we'll see where we are as far as discovery.
Yes, sir.
Okay. Thank you,
Yes,
sir.
Thank you.
Thank you.
All right, Judge, let's see where I was at.
You're on.
I think I'm down to Britton Snell.
Yes, sir.
Judge, the state and I are working on this. I guess I'm gonna have to go try to sit down and meet with him again, because some of the points that are being scored, I believe, are juvenile cases and therefore should not be on the score sheet, and that would dramatically change where he stands. Let's leave it set for, well, Judge, let's just put it, if we could, just one more continuance so the state and I can get together, because I know this is a short week for them. They got to be back in court. If I left it set for Monday, I don't know if we'd have an answer.
Well, 2 months ago, I said trial this cycle,
Judge, I understand.
and it's a 21 case, setting it for a plea or trial. So, Mr. Snell, that means I'll see you a week from today at 9 o'clock, okay? And we'll be looking at going to trial at the end of this month.
Okay.
Okay.
All right, I'll let you know when I talk to him.
Did we skip Sanders, or was that,
Judge, I think we did skip,
okay? Donald Sanders?
yes, Judge. He and I spoke outside. I was just appointed on April 3rd.
Okay.
I'm going to ask to continue this case. The
Mr.
state
Sanders?
hasn't sent me any discovery yet, Judge.
Okay. Mr. Sanders, do you agree to the continuance? I'll see you back here on July 8th, okay? Thank you, sir.
Judge, Mr. Dees was supposed to cover one of Coy Browning's cases, and he texted me a minute ago, and he was like, oh, my God. Somebody did it? Okay, good.
Yes, sir.
Very good. See you this afternoon, Judge.
Thank you, sir. Okay. Yes, sir.
Good morning, Your Honor.
Good morning, sir.
Dustin Harsher, I'm covering a case for Jeff Toney this morning, Judge. The case is Miguel Angel Santa Maria. It's 22 CF 1751. Mr. Toney recently filed a motion for contempt to compel an order to show cause. I shot an email to the assistant and the state this morning, Your Honor. I believe we're going to set that for the 20th. June 20th.
Okay,
I don't know if that's set in stone yet. I haven't checked my email since it was brought up, but
okay, so you want to continue the underlying case?
yes, Your Honor.
And then you're going to set that motion? And the motion is for contempt?
Yes, Your Honor. I believe there's been some trouble getting one of the officers, I think it's the main officer, arresting officer on the case, to
Okay.
show up for deposition.
Did the court enter an order previously?
I'm not sure, Your Honor.
I don't believe so.
Yes or no? I mean, you said I do or I don't believe so.
Judge, I don't believe there's been a previous order.
Okay. So I would suggest it'd be an order to show cause. Why the court shouldn't enter shouldn't hold, well, it'd be enter an order to show cause, not just a motion for contempt.
I'll let him know.
You know
Your
what I
Honor.
mean?
Yes,
Because
Your
there's
Honor.
no order for me to say they were in contempt of.
I'll let Mr. Tony know.
Okay, so a motion for order to show cause why you shouldn't be held in contempt. And then set it.
Okay. What is that date we're going to continue that to, Judge?
The underlying case is continued until July 8th at 9 o'clock, but then schedule your other hearing up, okay?
Yes, Your Honor. The next case I'm covering is for Attorney Tony Henderson. This is Richard Stevens, 22 CF 272. I believe depositions are set for June 18th at 1 p.m., Your Honor. I believe we've been having similar issues with the same officer in this case, getting him set for deposition. I think he was out of town for a little while, so I just asked that this get continued.
Okay, and the
So we can
attorney
get those
is,
depositions taken as well.
the attorney you're covering for is who?
It's Tony Henderson.
Henderson. Got it, thank you. Okay, thank you. Okay, yes, sir, then that's granted.
Thank you, Your Honor. The last case I have is also for Tony Henderson, Judge. It's Isaiah Satterfield, 24 CF 541. Yes,
Okay,
I believe he is incarcerated, Judge.
so that means that he will appear at 2 o'clock via Zoom.
Yes, Your Honor. And there's depositions set for July 30th in that case as well.
But I'm not, without Mr. Henderson being here saying, representing to the court that he's spoken to his client, and the client understands what you're
Judge.
doing.
I was going to ask if I could appear by Zoom this afternoon.
Certainly.
Okay. Thank you, Judge.
Yes, sir.
I believe that's all I have, Your Honor. Thank you.
Sounds good, thank you. Okay, Mr. Cobb.
Judge, the first case out of custody that I can deal with this morning is the state versus Kevin Kevin? Case number 2023 CF 2399. I spoke with Mr. Gomez last week, and it's my understanding the state's going to null pros the trafficking charge and allow Mr. Min to plead to the misdemeanor charge of possession of paraphernalia, credit for time served, court costs, et cetera, correct?
That is correct, Your Honor. We received an FDLE lab report that showed that the alleged trafficking amount came back as no controlled substances, so we would null pros count 1 and plead to the adjudication of guilt and count 2 credit for time served.
And what the court, I didn't prepare a written plea to the misdemeanor. Will the court
That's
set the misdemeanor? Thank you, Judge.
Yes, sir. So then it would be court costs and $150 public assistance fee, correct?
Yes, sir.
Okay. How do you pronounce your last name?
Min.
Min. Mr. Min, if you'll raise your right hand, do you swear to tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, so help you God? Thank you, sir. You can put your hand down. So, Mr. Min, here's what I hear. Here's what my question will be to you. Do you want to enter a plea? And here's what I would sentence you to if you agree. First off, you'd be waiving your right to a trial by jury. And if you said, yep, I want to accept the state's plea and waive my right to a trial by jury, count 1 is dismissed without you having to say anything today. Count 2, you would be adjudicated guilty of that misdemeanor. You would be sentenced to credit for time served. You'd have to pay the court cost and $150 attorney's fee. And I'd give you, if you needed 6 months or so to pay that, could give you that. If you fail to pay it within 6 months, then it would go to a civil lien or judgment. So is that what you wish to do? Okay. Do you have any questions for me or Mr. Cobb or the state? Okay. Then I do accept your plea, and that's what you're adjudicated guilty of. Count 2, misdemeanor, credit for time served, court costs $150. How long will you need to pay those amounts?
About 6 months.
Okay. If you fail to pay it within 6 months, it'll go to a civil lien or judgment. Okay, thank you, sir. Mr. Cobb?
Yes, sir. The next case I can resolve is State versus Vicki Milligan. She's present here today.
Hello, Ms. Milligan.
2020, oh, sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt.
Good.
2023 CF 2148. She's charged with possession of controlled substance. The state has agreed to allow Ms. Milligan to enter a no contest plea to possession of paraphernalia, exact same terms as Mr. Min. I was hoping the court would be willing to accept that here today.
So lesser included offense?
Yes, sir.
Be adjudication of guilt, time served,
Yes, sir.
and court costs, and attorney's fee, right?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Ms. Milligan, if you'll raise your right hand, do you swear to tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, so help you God? So help you God.
Yes, I do today.
Thank you, ma'am. You can put your hand down. Ms. Milligan, do you understand that if I accept your plea, that you're waiving your right to a trial by jury?
Yes, sir.
Have any questions for me or your attorney?
I do not.
Okay. Do you understand you'd be adjudicated guilty of a misdemeanor?
I do, sir.
Okay. I do accept your plea. You're adjudicated guilty, sentenced to credit for time served. You'll need to pay the court cost, $150 public assistance fee. How long will you need to pay for that?
30 days, 90 days, 90 days?
She said 90 days.
Okay.
90 days?
90 days? Yes, ma'am.
I'm working now, so that's
Good, excellent, congratulations. If you fail to pay it within 90 days, then it goes to a civil lien or judgment. Thank you, ma'am. Good luck to you.
that it. Hey, nice to meet you.
Judge, the next case I have out of custody is State versus John Moore, John Paul Moore Sr., two cases, 2023 CF 2484, 2023 CF 2370. I believe that I can resolve these cases. I've been reaching out to the probation officer who he reported to when he was released from prison to verify some information that he told me. She was on vacation. I reached out to her this morning, but I think once I talk to her, I can get up with Mr. Gomez and try to resolve them. But I am going to be asking for a continuance.
Okay. Have you filed a waiver for Mr. Moore?
I don't think I filed a waiver, but here's what I told him this morning when I talked to him. I told him I didn't think there was a waiver on file, but he's in a wheelchair. He's been battling.
So you said it was okay for him not to be here?
Yes, sir. I told him I'd cover it for him, yes, sir.
That's fine. So it's continued one cycle.
What is that date, Judge?
July 8th.
Thank you. Okay. The next case is State versus Julian Perez, 2024 CF 479. Julian Perez.
Perez, Madrid.
Yes, sir.
No,
Yes.
Madrid. Okay, I don't see Mr. Madrid. It's not on Zoom. Okay, what does the state seek?
KPS, Your Honor.
A capias will be issued for Mr. Madrid. That means that they will arrest Mr. Madrid, bring him before the court, so we appreciate y'all being here.
Yes, sir. Judge, and I would have, I would fight to not have the capias if I had had any contact with him, and so far I have not.
Thank you.
And then we set Miss Edith Rolandi to September 9th, correct?
Okay, good.
Okay. And then I have somebody that was in custody but bonded out, thankfully. Elaine Ypez. She's present.
Good.
That's 2024 CF 432. And I received the last bit of the discovery on May 8th through the link and downloaded it yesterday. Well, this morning, actually. It's kind of early this morning. I'm asking for a continuance in that case so I can go through the discovery and try to resolve the case.
Okay. How do you pronounce your last name?
Yep.
Yepes. Good. Ms. Yepes, do you agree to the continuance?
Yes.
Okay.
Oh, and it's Eileen too, she reminded me, so.
I'll see you back here on July 8th at 9. Okay. Thanks, Ms. Yepes.
Okay. Let me check and make sure that's my out of custody judge. And the only other question I had is, Tavion Morris, what date was that case set on, Madam Clerk?
7/8.
7/8? Okay, thank you. I'll see you this afternoon on Zoom.
Thanks, Mr. Cobb. Okay. Private counsel that are on Zoom. Ms. Powell?
Good morning, Your Honor. How are you?
Good, and it's afternoon, but yes, ma'am.
It is afternoon already. So nice to see you, Judge. I'm here on behalf of Jonathan Watson. In this matter, we have finalized the depositions, I believe. I ordered transcripts. I'm requesting a one-cycle continuance with the intention that we would be able to try it next time.
Okay. So it's continued and trial next time.
That's perfect, Judge. Thank you so much.
Thanks, Ms. Powell.
Have a good one.
You too. Okay, other private
I'm
counsel?
speaking on behalf of Mr. Bain. Your Honor, Mr. Bain should be present on Zoom as well. I'm here. We're ready for trial, Your Honor.
Okay. Hold on one second. Good. Okay, is the state ready for trial on Mr. Bain's case?
Yes, Judge, we'd ask to leave it on for docket day with subpoenas.
Okay. So it's set for trial. That means that I'll see y'all back here a week from today at 9 o'clock. And we'll be looking at going to trial at the end of this month, okay?
Yes, sir.
Okay, thanks, y'all. Okay, other private counsel on Zoom?
Yes, Judge. John Holzbar, law officer Durand Reed on Destiny Moore with Mr. Gomez.
Yes, Your Honor, I just wanted to update the court. I had to kind of use you to get some movement down south. It was ironic that after trying to reach out to them 3 times when I said that I'll have to get you involved, I got a response in 45 minutes. We have since sent the packet over to vet court. They are in the process of getting that through to the ASA and the judge. We are hoping that this will be the final continuance that we have to request and that Ms. Moore will be in the Miami-Dade vet court program before the next cycle.
Wow, okay. So just a continuance?
Yes, Your Honor. I just wanted to fully explain because this is the 3rd time that we've had to ask, so I just want to let you know.
Okay, so it's continued until July 8th. If it's not resolved then, y'all need to be ready to go to trial.
Yes, Your Honor.
Okay?
Yes, Your Honor.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you, sir.
Any other private counsel on Zoom?
Yes, Your Honor. Ken Malik on behalf of Mark Ward.
Thanks,
That's 23-247-1A.
Okay, Mr. Malik, hold on one second. Let me find you on my docket. Yes, sir. Okay.
Yes, Judge. My client recently provided me funds to do a deposition. I just need to do one depo. Basically, Judge, a motion's going to be dispositive on this case. I'd ask that we be reset for your July 8th court date.
Okay, to the state, what do you want to do? And the reason why I asked that is 2 months ago I said trial next time.
What number on your docket, Judge?
It's 133 on mine. It's Mark Ward, Mark Andrew Ward. So it may be right around 133 on yours. Malnick is the attorney's last name. Find it, Mr. Snow?
Yes,
Okay.
Judge. I need a couple seconds.
Okay.
No objection, Your Honor.
Okay. Mr. Malik, then your motion to continue is granted. Setting it for trial next time times 2, but I'll see you back here on July 8th at 9, okay?
Thank you, Your Honor. Have a good day.
Thank you, sir. You too. Any other private counsel? Mr. Griffith?
Judge Michael Griffith. Did you hear me, Your Honor?
I did. Yes, sir. Gotcha.
Okay.
Mr. Wingate?
Yes, sir.
Okay.
We're asking for continuance. There are 3 additional co-defendants that we're trying to coordinate the depositions with. I know the state's anxious to get this tried, but we need another deposition, another continuance so we can get the depositions taken.
Okay, to the state on Mr. Wingate's case?
No objection, Judge.
Okay, then it's continued 1 cycle.
Hopefully we'll be able to get them all done. It's just been difficult because of the additional co-defendants and trying to coordinate 5 attorney schedules.
Yes, sir, I can imagine. Thank you, Mr. Griffith.
What's our next date, Your Honor?
July 8th.
Thank you, Judge. I appreciate your courtesy. Have a good week.
Thank you, sir. You too.
If you on the list from the jail.
Mr. Griffith, if you wouldn't mind letting Miss Lisa know how many hours you need for depositions, I'd appreciate it.
Okay, well, I'll take care of that. Thank you very much.
Okay. Okay. Mr. Griffith?
Yes, sir.
If you'll call the Okaloosa County Jail and tell them that, I assume your client agreed to the continuance, right?
Yes, sir. He knows about the difficulty we're having with the depositions.
Okay. So call the jail and tell them that he doesn't need to appear this afternoon. Sometimes when the attorneys don't get the jail to drop them off, the defendant shows up and says, I didn't know what was going on. And then I'm not pleased and schedule it for a week from today. So make sure you talk to the jail, okay?
I will do that right now, Your Honor. Thank you.
Thank you. Okay, Ms. Gooden, are you ready? Guess not, because I can't hear or see her. Okay, any other private counsel on Zoom? I don't see any. I think I've got some pro ses. RCC. Right. Is John Midget here?
Yes, sir.
Mr. Midget, come on up to the lectern. And it's 22 CF 2571. Does the state have an offer for Mr. Midget?
Your Honor, this was a PTI recall.
Okay.
I'm trying to figure out why it was recalled. I'm assuming it was for a failure to pay. Do you know why it was put back on this docket?
That sounds maybe like it could be accurate. I don't really understand why either.
Okay.
Well, did you pay the restitution amount? Because that was essentially the only thing.
I have not paid the full amount. I only made, I think, 1 payment of $400.
Okay.
So far.
Your Honor, would you allow the state to request a 1-cycle continuance? I'm going to give Mr. Midget my card. I believe Mr. Midget also has a co-defendant in this case. Is that correct?
Yes, sir.
Can we go ahead and request a 1-cycle continuance for both of them? I need to reach out to the PTI officer and see exactly how much they have remaining. The goal is to get them paid up, and then
Right.
I don't want to bring it back on the docket just for them to just turn around and pay it. So if I can request a 1-cycle continuance for both Mr. Midget and what is your wife's? Is it your
Kelly,
wife?
and then that's another thing to bring up on. I filed papers for divorce with her, so that's gonna have to be, I guess, hashed out.
I mean, that doesn't really affect us.
Okay.
I just mainly wanted to make sure that
Okay, is
we
she
get
on the
both of
docket?
them.
Her name's Kelly Midget, and she's unrepresented now.
Okay. Is it Kelly Midget?
Yes,
That's the name
yes,
she
sir.
uses? Okay, so that's not on the docket for today, so I'm not continuing that.
Okay.
I am continuing John Midget's case. Mr. Midget, unless the state drops the case before July 8th, I'll see you on July 8th at 9 o'clock. If you're coming back to court that date, then I would suggest that you fill out a financial affidavit to qualify for the public defender before then, so that you'd qualify. If not, when you come, I'll ask you if you want an attorney, and then I'll ask you some questions.
Yes,
Okay?
sir, understood.
So July 8th at 9 o'clock. Thank you, sir.
Thank you.
Next is Patricia Roberts. Patricia Thayer Roberts. I don't,
They're indicating you stepped down.
okay. Okay, thank you. Okay, PD.
First I have in the gallery, Your Honor, is James Hyam.
Good.
This is Mr. Hyam, Your Honor.
Oh, Mr. Hyam.
I proposed a resolution to these cases, and just this morning I received response from the state where the state is going to definitely be seeking Department of Corrections time. I would ask the court if we could have one last continuance for Mr. Hyam. I do want to go over the depositions with him. It's been quite a while since we've gone over the fact portion of this evidence. I have had meetings with him recently about mitigation, but I want him to re-listen to these depositions. If he does elect to go forward to trial, I think to be fair to him, given the age of these cases, we should go back over those so he knows what the testimony was.
And so the alleged victim did appear?
Well, that was in the leaving the scene of an accident. I believe that he did not. He was not found. And so we can attempt to redepose him. I think that the state's main position, and I'm sure Mr. Gomez will correct me if I'm wrong, is the fleeing charge, the charges associated with that, which would be the leaving the scene of an accident. But I know these are old. I would point out to the court's attention, Mr. Hyam was in the Department of Corrections for a year. That's one of the reasons why these are so old.
Good. Mr. Hyam, the reason why I said good wasn't that you were in jail, but at least, or in prison, but was because then I understand why the case is so old and we haven't moved it forward.
Yes, sir.
Mr. Hyam, do you agree to the continuance?
Yes, sir.
I'll see you back here on July 8th, and we'll be looking at going to trial on July 22nd or August 5th.
Thank you,
Okay?
sir.
Thank you, sir.
Call my office and make it up. Yeah. I'll tell Katie to make sure it's like an hour long. Next, I had Tiffany Lockman on Zoom. Your Honor, do you want me to do Zoom, or do you want me to just
Sure.
stick with people here? Okay.
If you're ready.
Ms. Lockman did provide, and I just received the PTI intake paperwork that I have in my hand. If the court wants to put Ms. Lockman on for next Monday for the 20th, so we can get this to probation, so we can
Okay.
hopefully get that squared away.
So at plea continue. Ms. Lockman, I'll see you a week from today on Monday at 9 o'clock, okay?
She was on earlier, and she notified my office her phone had died, so
Okay.
I said.
So you'll let her know?
Yes, sir.
Okay, thank you.
Next I have in the gallery is Joseph Lacrosse, to be followed by Christopher LaPierre.
Good.
Mr. Lacrosse is present. These cases are ready to be disposed of, Your Honor. The issue is restitution. We don't know if the federal government or the alleged victim personally should be receiving this restitution. I did talk with Mr. Gomez. I don't want to jam him up. I know he's got a lot of things going on this particular week. If the state wants to ask for a continuance, the defense is not going to object to that.
Can we ask for a continuance but set it for a status on like the June date right after trial cycle? That just gives, I just need to make sure who the money is going to, and then we'll have a resolution.
Okay. Mr. Lacrosse, do you agree to the continuance?
Yes, sir.
I'll see you back here on June 10th at 9 o'clock.
Thank you.
But I'm continuing the underlying case until July 8th, but June 10th at 9.
I'll call you before that. Okay.
Thank you.
Next I have.
Also, hold on, Mr. Lacrosse, stay in touch with Mr. Kleins. Mr. Kleins, if there's not going to be any movement on that date and you want to waive his appearance.
Absolutely. I'll do that.
So Mr. Kleins can let you know you don't need to be here on that date, otherwise you got to be here.
Okay.
Good, thank you.
Next I have Christopher LaPierre, followed by Donald Lowe. And Mr. LaPierre is present and approaching. We have been waiting for some amended discovery in Mr. LaPierre's case, Your Honor. I know that the state has reached out to the investigator. We have not received it yet. Given that, I believe the case needs to be continued one cycle.
Is that the same discovery you were waiting for 2 months ago?
Yes, sir.
To the state, what's going on?
I requested it. That's on me, Your Honor. I was a little bit delayed in asking for it as soon as I needed to be. That I take responsibility for that.
Okay. Mr. LaPierre, I'll see you back here on July 8th. Hopefully, we'll be looking at disposing of it then. Thank you, sir.
All right, make an appointment, come talk to me. Your Honor, next I have 2 misdemeanor pleas. Do you want me to just skip over them and have them go home?
No, sir.
Okay.
Let's take-
Donald Lowe, followed by Zachary McLean. This is Mr. Lowe, Your Honor. At this time, Mr. Lowe is going to be entering a plea of no contest. In both of his cases, the pleas will be on count 1 and 23 CF 1934 would be a plea to the lesser included offense of no
Wait,
valid.
I'm sorry, 1934.
Yes, sir.
There's only one count in that case.
Sorry,
Correct.
1238 is the one that he.
Correct. I'm going to get to that. There's one case that has 2 counts and one that has 1.
Okay, okay, gotcha.
So in the 1934 case, there is only 1 charge.
Okay.
It is currently charged as driving on a suspended license as a felony. The state has agreed to plead that particular count and case to a no valid driver's license. In 23 CF 1238, count 1 was originally charged as trafficking. That has already been null-prossed. Count 2 was originally charged as second driving on a suspended license. The state would agree to plea that to no valid driver's license. The agreed upon disposition is that Mr. Lowe would be sentenced to credit for time served on both cases. He would be assessed misdemeanor court costs for each case. Madam Clerk, I don't know what those court costs.
300 each.
Okay, 600 in court costs total, plus 250 in public defender fees. And Mr. Lowe would be adjudicated of those misdemeanors.
Okay.
May I approach?
Thank you. Yes, sir.
And Your Honor, if I can, I just want to put on the record, the reason why we are dismissing count 1 and 1238 is because we received the FDLE report that came back no controlled substances. With the severity of the charge, I just wanted to make sure that was on the record.
Good, thank you. Mr. Lowe, if you'll raise your right hand, do you swear to tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, so help you God?
Yes, sir.
Thank you, sir. You can put your hand down. Mr. Lowe, did you read the plea agreement?
Yes, sir, I did.
Do you understand it?
Yes, sir.
Did you sign it?
Yes, sir, I did.
Mr. Lowe, I do accept your plea. You're adjudicated guilty of the misdemeanors. You're sentenced to credit for time served. You'll need to pay the 2 court costs, $250 public defender's fee. How long will you need to pay? 6, 7, 8, about $850.
At least 90 days.
Okay, why don't we do 90 days?
Yes, sir. Thank
If you fail to pay it within 90 days, then it'll go to a civil lien or judgment.
Okay, thank you, sir.
Thank you, sir.
Let's not do this.
Yes, sir.
Next, I have Zach McLean, followed by Jessica Manios. And this is Mr. McLean. And we do have an agreement to resolve Mr. McLean's cases, Your Honor. In 23 CF 1806, Mr. McLean would be entering a no contest plea to the lesser included offense of no valid driver's license. He would be sentenced to credit for time served, be assessed $300 in court costs, $150 in public defender fees. And I am going to write on here after the signatures have been put on here, Your Honor, but I did not mark the adjudication. This is a plea to a misdemeanor. Mr. McLean would be adjudicated of that misdemeanor.
Okay, if you'll get Mr. McLean to initial that,
Can you
if
just
he
initial it?
agrees.
Absolutely. Yep. All right. May I approach?
Yes, sir. Thank you. Mr. McLean, if you'll raise your right hand, do you swear to tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, so help you God?
I swear, Your Honor.
Thank you, sir. Did you read the plea agreement?
Absolutely.
Do you understand it?
I do.
Did you sign it?
Yes, sir.
I do accept your plea. You're adjudicated guilty of the misdemeanor, sentenced to credit for time served. You need to pay the court costs, $150 public defender's fee. How long will it take you to pay $450?
2-3 months.
Okay. If you fail to pay it within 90 days, then it will go to a civil lien or judgment.
Absolutely.
Thank you, sir. Good luck to you.
Thank you.
All right, good luck. Thank you. Yes, sir. Next, Your Honor, I have Jessica Manios, followed by Mary Mason. This is Ms. Manios.
Good afternoon, ma'am.
Yeah. No. Your Honor, at this time, the state is going to be announcing a dismissal. We spoke with the victim on this case. He doesn't, it's the defendant's father. He doesn't want her to get any sort of trouble. And the way that they had structured the way that she takes care of him, it would essentially be her paying herself back. And so at this time, Your Honor, we're going to be announcing a dismissal of this case.
Okay. Ms. Manios, your case number 23 CF 8 is dismissed. Thank you, ma'am.
That's it. Thank you.
Mr. Kleins, before we do your next one, did Patricia Roberts ever come back in? Ms. Roberts, come on down. This is 24 CF 501. Does the state have an offer for Ms. Roberts? 183 on my docket.
Oh,
No
you switched
attorney.
on me, Judge. You left Mr. Klein's. You went
It's
back.
a no attorney, 183.
Yes, sir. 183.
Yes, sir. Patricia Roberts.
I'm getting there, closer.
Your Honor, at this time, the state's going to offer an adjudication of guilt, standard probation of 12 months, fine in the amount of $200, and the driver's license is going to be suspended for a period of 365 days. That is under the statute, Your Honor.
Okay. Ms. Roberts, do you want me to appoint a public defender if you qualify financially?
No, sir, I actually have an appointment with a lawyer next week. I've been trying to obtain one for the past month, but it's taken a little longer than planned. So I was going to ask if I could have a little bit longer to get private counsel.
Okay. Any objection from the state?
Is this for a continuance, Your Honor?
Yes, sir.
No objection.
Okay. So, Ms. Roberts, I'll see you back here on July 8th at 9 o'clock. If you want to avoid 250 or 350 people, if the state offers you something that you want to accept, your attorney can set it for a hearing before that date.
Okay.
Okay?
Okay, thank you.
Otherwise,
very
I'll see you July 8th at 9.
All right, thank you.
Thank you, ma'am. Okay, Mr. Klein?
Next I have Mary Mason, followed by Derek McLean. Ms. Mason is present, Your Honor. These cases are going to be announced plea or trial.
Okay.
I guess, technically speaking, we should probably set the 23 CF 1542. There's two cases. They're totally different criminal offenses.
Well, I think it's up to the state to decide.
Well, sir, certainly.
That's all, that 23 CF 1542 is okay, Your Honor.
Okay, so trial, that means, Ms. Mason, I'll see you back here a week from today on the 20th at 9 o'clock. We'll be looking at going to trial, okay? Thank you, ma'am.
All right, I'll talk to you on Friday. Next, I have Derek McLean, followed by Elaine McPhee. Mr. McLean is present and approaching, Your Honor. We did take Corporal Dew's deposition recently. We will announce plea or trial for Mr. McLean.
Ready for trial, Your Honor.
Okay. Mr. McLean, I'll see you a week from today at 9 o'clock, and we'll be heading toward trial. Okay, thank you.
After Ms. McPhee is going to be Dire McMullen. And Ms. McPhee is present and approaching, Your Honor. I did have another meeting with Ms. McPhee. She is in the process of gathering more medical records in anticipation of a potential insanity defense here. I would ask the court for a one-cycle continuance so she can finish getting those records.
Okay. We talked about that 2 months ago.
I have a number of records that she has provided to us. We have reviewed all of those records. I had, based on the records that were provided, I instructed her to go find more records.
Good. Ms. McPhee, do you agree to the continuance?
Yes.
I'll see you back here on July 8th, and I'm going to make a note that says trial that cycle, okay? So I'll see you then. Thank you. Thank you.
All right. Give me those records, okay? Yes, ma'am. Next, I have Dire McMullen, followed by Jessica McVeigh. And this is Ms. McMullen, Your Honor. We have a resolution for Ms. McMullen's case. At this time, she is going to be entering a no contest plea as charged. The agreed upon disposition is she will be placed on 1 year of probation. Community service, I got it, yeah. The 1 year of probation will be concurrent. She's already on 2 years of probation out of case 23 CF 750, which was pled to, I believe, right when this case started. So she's going to be placed on another year of probation concurrent to the 2 years that she's on for that. She would be assessed $610 in court costs, $150 in public defender fees. The state would agree to another withhold in this particular case. Ms. McMullen just wanted me to ask if the court would potentially authorize community service in lieu of some of these court costs.
Certainly.
And I'm sorry, before I forget, she also wanted to ask probation or the court, her son is graduating from high school, and she wants permission to travel to Georgia at the end of this week. Sorry to kind of catch everyone off guard.
Yes, sir.
May I approach with the plea agreement?
Yes, sir.
Score sheet, no objection.
Thank you. Ms. McMullen?
Yes.
If you'll raise your right hand, do you swear to tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, so help you God?
Yes, sir.
Thank you, ma'am. Ms. McMullen, did you read the plea agreement?
I did.
Do you understand it?
Yes, sir.
Did you discuss it with your attorney?
I did.
Did he answer all of your questions?
Yes, sir.
Are you satisfied with his representation?
Yes.
Did you sign the plea agreement?
Yes, I did.
Ms. McMullen, I do accept your plea. Adjudication is withheld. You're sentenced to 1 year of probation, and that's concurrent with your other supervision that you're currently on. You'll need to pay the court costs, $150 public assistance fee. You have to pay the $40 per month cost of supervision, but you only have to pay that once, at least for one case as it goes. You can perform community service work to work off any allowable fees. Court has no objection to you and consents to you going, is it the graduation is in Georgia?
Yes, it's this
Okay.
Friday.
When are you going to leave? When are you coming back?
Friday, we'll be back, I believe, Saturday night, Sunday morning.
Okay, well, why don't we say that, what time do you plan to leave on Friday?
Probably Friday morning, because it takes 6.5 hours to get
Okay,
there.
so 8 o'clock Friday morning?
That's fine.
Okay, so 8 o'clock from this Friday morning, and you'll come back no later than 5 p.m. on Sunday.
Perfect.
Okay. Thank you, ma'am, and
Thank
congratulations.
you so much, thank you.
All right, good luck. Okay. Let's not see each other. You got to talk to him real quick. Jessica McVeigh. You know who passed Miss McVeigh? She went to the Crestview Courthouse today.
Okay.
Mara Mearns, followed by Mikkel Mercado. And Ms. Mearns is present and approaching, Your Honor. We do have an agreement to resolve this case. At this time, Ms. Mearns is going to be entering a no contest plea as charged. The agreed upon disposition is that she will be placed on 1 year of probation. She will perform 24 hours of community service, submit to a substance abuse evaluation within 30 days, begin any recommended treatment within 60. She would also be assessed $610 in court costs and $150 in public defender fees. There would be a withhold of adjudication. I have a score sheet, Madam Clerk.
Thank you. Yes, sir. Ms. Mearns, if you'll raise your right hand, do you swear to tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, so help you God? Thank you, ma'am. You can put your hand down. Ms. Mearns, did you read the plea agreement?
I did.
Do you understand it?
Yes, sir.
Did you discuss it with your attorney?
Yes, sir.
Did he answer all of your questions?
Yes.
Are you satisfied with his representation?
I am.
Did you sign the plea agreement?
I did.
Ms. Mearns, I do accept your plea. Adjudication is withheld. You're sentenced to 1 year of probation. You'll need to perform 24 hours of community service work, submit to a substance abuse evaluation within 30 days from today, begin any treatment if it's recommended within 60 days from today. You'll need to pay the court costs, $150 public defender's fee, and the $40 per month cost of supervision. Thank you, Ms. Mearns. Good luck to you, ma'am. Mr. Kleins, this will be the last one that you'll call, and then I think I have Ms. Goodson.
Yes, sir. Mikkel Mercado. She is present and approaching, Your Honor. She did provide me with an apology letter today that I need to get over to Mr. Gomez. If we could leave her case on for plea or continue for next Monday, I might waive her appearance. I don't know. I just want to see if we might hopefully get a dismissal beforehand. But
Okay.
I need to get to state that apology letter.
Ms. Mercado, I'll see you back here a week from today at 9 o'clock. If Mr. Kleins calls and tells you you don't have to be here, then I'll see you on July. Well, if he says the case is dismissed, then you don't have to worry about coming back at all. But if the case isn't dismissed, then I'll see you on July 8th at 9 o'clock. Okay? Thank you, ma'am.
Your Honor, I know the court's going to take a recess here. There are a couple individuals. Do we have permission to send them on their way if I know what's going to happen? Like, for example, I have Louis Morant in court, but that's going to be put on the vet court docket for this Friday.
Yes, sir.
So I don't want people to have to stick around if,
I agree.
okay.
Ms. Goodson, are you ready?
I am, Your Honor, and I'm sorry, I was working diligently.
Yes, ma'am.
The first one I have is actually Montauk, 24 CF 597. I'm gonna ask to continue it. I am working with Mr. Gomez. It's gonna be a negotiated plea.
Okay, so plea or continue? Yes, sir. Yes, ma'am, I'll see you on Monday for that.
Monday?
Right, if it's plea or continue, then that's docket day.
Can we go to the next court cycle so we can work out the
So you're seeking a continuance?
continuance?
Yes, ma'am. It's continued one cycle, so it's July 8th.
Thank you. The next one I have is Kyle Via, VIA, 23 CF 2149. We are working with Mr. Snell to get this into vet court. He was observing vet court, but he also had some paperwork he had to get to Mr. Rivera. So may we have the 6/8 court date for him?
July 8th?
July,
Yes, ma'am.
07.
Right. Yes, ma'am, it's
At
continued.
least that would be early, not late.
It's continued until July 8th.
And Your Honor, do you have an Elijah Bennett?
I do not on my docket today.
Okay, it was my understanding this was being transferred to you. All right, thank you.
Thanks, Ms. Gooden.
That's all I have.
Thank you, ma'am. Since it's after 12:30, we're going to break until 1:30, so we're in recess until 1:30. Thank you.
All rise, please.